Alright, good evening and welcome to the program Touching Lives. We have this evening in the studio Reverend Elo Nicholas.
Thank you so much.
We have Apostle Mbo Matthew. I hope I did not mispronounce your name.
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're tagging this edition Releasing the Proof of Easter. Reverend Elo and Apostle Mbo will be doing justice to that shortly. So we'll start with Apostle Mbo Matthew. Could you please enlighten us what is Easter? When people say Easter celebration, what exactly is Easter about and its significance?
I know that Easter is something that everybody who calls himself a Christian is interested to celebrate. The event is just to remind us the death of Christ on the cross,
Okay.
and in memorial to our salvation gotten from his death, the power of the cross. Anybody who is celebrating who does not have the base of it or the basis of it on his own salvation may be celebrating a different thing. Anybody that should celebrate that he or she is saved. So if that person is saved, that is say you are secure. And if you are secured, you are at peace. And if you are at peace, you are free. And if you are free, there is joy.
There are so many people who don't accept the concept of Easter.
Okay.
We have also come across people who say it's not recorded in scripture. Some actually trace the origin to some paganic background. Because of this, they don't want to accept anything about Easter. But we have also identified that in Easter there are two important things we don't need to lose sight of. There is a display of dead and life,
Okay.
sorrow and joy. You see pains and relief. It starts with something very painful and ended with something joyful. Looking at that trend now, I can say there are two good groups of people that I'm expecting should be celebrating Easter worldwide. The first group I'm seeing that should not fail to celebrate Easter, as my apostle said, are those that are saved, those that have hope, they have the faith, they have the belief that something great has been done in their lives. One of the time to celebrate these days. But the other end I am also interested in, and I will come back to discuss that in full, is that while we are rejoicing, there are some people that are in pains right now. They have not realized, they have not seen the fact, they have not seen any proof that something has been done for their salvation. And you don't expect Christ to come now anymore. But we who are rejoicing should actually make an impact in the lives of those people. And we'll come back to that on what I call the post-resurrection appearances. In other words, we are in an era that we are no longer going to see Christ rising physically. We are in the post-celebration era. What should we do? We need to go somewhere.
Though we cannot condemn a concept,
Okay.
some of these things are not doctrine, they are dogmas.
Oh.
So every Christian sect have their doctrine, they have their dogmas.
Okay.
So if you build your doctrine on a verse, on a script from the scripture, it may not be a sound doctrine. Or if after all the Bible asks Peter to eat everything, say eat, eat. But Peter said these things are not clean. He said don't call what I created unclean. So if that be the case
So
now,
it's okay to eat meat between Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday.
I really want to comment this. Your life alone is not all about celebrating and eating and the merriment. Pay a little bit to the spiritual.
Okay.
And I think within a period of 40 days of Lent, you must have been able to keep some reserve. So if there is any time that charity should be on the increase, it's during the Lenten season.
Okay.
And what you were taught, that please be mindful of the people who are suffering. You should see in your head to your life that there should be a little reserve. Bring out that reserve at Easter.
Reverend, I think we should just go
How do
down
we
to
celebrate?
how
Do we celebrate?
Easter, yes.
Sometimes there are some places to get yourself challenged. One of those places I met is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15. It is clear that after the resurrection, he told me, it's not the time to show power. If he was to prove his power, he should appear to whom?
To the pilots who crucified him, the Pharisees who argue with him,
Okay.
the Sadducees who never believe him. So these are the strong people he's supposed to go and present himself.
He discovered that within a period of 10 days,
Okay.
only 10 days, first of all, he appeared to Peter. He stubborn. In the evening, he moved and appeared to the 12. These are people that were in confusion,
Okay.
frustrated, very hopeless. Great men, great apostles at this time have lost confidence. He has to come and assure them that life continues. Very hopeful. He moved from there immediately and appeared to over 500 brethren at the same time.
Okay.
As he proceeded from there, you can see him again appearing to James. Who was James? Not the James the son of Zebedee, not James the son of Alphaeus, but the James that was his half-brother. You know, Mary gave birth to other sons,
That's right.
and his brother was one of the people that never believed. At a point he told him, please, great men don't hide. Go and show yourself to the city. But after the resurrection, he believed. He appeared to the apostles, finally. And the last was Apostle Paul. Again, you can see that even on the road to Emmaus, people who are getting more and more confused, he was appearing to them. But one thing became interesting, that wherever he entered, he broke bread with them, sat at meal, restoring their home. So the best way we should celebrate Easter is, who is the person awaiting bail that no one come around to assist? That is the most sorrowful person. In the custody, they are ready to allow you go, but someone should sign a bill. Somebody should come to sign. Good Christians should respond.
Okay.
This is the best celebration of Easter. What about those that are in confinement in prison? Can Easter take a group to the prison here and tell them there is still life, there is still hope? Can't our Easter visit some hospitals and pay hospital bills
From the reserves.
from the reserve? Don't you think that Easter should make someone by the roadside, by your street, by your house, the next door neighbor, feel, oh, God has visited me. God is real. He is alive. I've seen hope. That's the greatest celebration. So, if I should be talking about celebration of Easter, I should be counting on the number of people I have visited. How many lives have we touched? This is the celebration. And I am thinking that if Christ was to be sitting here by my side, he will be asking me, how many persons have I visited since I started celebrating Easter? Because he will give me a list of people. He did it in 10 days. You can imagine the number of people celebrating a few days from now. Maximize this number by the number of people we can reach. I think it will go beyond Luther Welfare for Children at Risk Development Center.
Reverend, you mentioned something about the post-resurrection era, post-celebration era. Appearances. Could you explain that?
What I am still emphasizing, prior before the resurrection,
Okay.
Christ has been in the midst of people teaching, performing several miracles,
Okay.
proving the presence of God in their midst. Suddenly, death came, suffering set in, and I have said it on air. There can never be joy except you have tasted soul pains. They're side by side. Life can only be experienced where death has occurred.
Okay.
So he balanced these two. So again, I still want to maintain what I'm going towards post-resurrection appearances is that anyone that is suffering, you are in pains, at Easter one thing ringing so clear is that there is joy by your side. It only lasted for a night. There is going to be joy the next morning. And the way that I've said it, need to extend that. But immediately after the resurrection, no more preaching. Observe the Lord. Only what he will be coming to show every point of appearance is there must have been a need.
Okay.
Whether physical, psychological. And now coming, he has the power that can attend to lives of people, both physically and spiritual. And he appeared to them. So post-resurrection appearances, which is actually the era that we are in now, we are only celebrating what has taken place, what we have experienced. So it is now something expected of us to take it to the people that are in need of this attention. In case people are hearing me, if they are fortunate to find a good book called the Bible, 1 Corinthians 15, it will amaze you that what I'm telling you in 10 days time was carefully recorded, that it appeared several places. And I'm thinking church services can be held in very remote place where people are in pains, in poverty, very short service. People can raise some items and really make sure in this season these people were touched. This is the post-resurrection. You have brought life to the people. I can negotiate with a hospital and say, I have a brief Easter prayer session in your hospital premises. And you can imagine, while I'm coming, they may expect prayer. According to James, you can see where James comes in. Show me your faith, and I will show you my work. Because faith without work is dead.